All of you, welcome back to a course database management system. So in the previous video we discussed about relational algebra. So I talked about this relational algebra in detail in the previous video. Now in this video we are going to discuss about relational calculus. So before this I already told you that in case of query language we are going to discuss three types or three basic things. So first one is the SQL that we already discussed. Then we already discussed about relational algebra, and the third one is relational calculus. So I already told you about the history. The relational algebra was invented or first time coined in the year of 1970 by Dr. E.F. Codd. Then in the 1972 relational calculus was introduced. The concept of relational calculus was introduced in the year of 1972, and especially the concept of tuple relational calculus. And then in the year of 1977 the concept of domain relational calculus was introduced, and in 1986 SQL was introduced. So this is what a correlation between relational algebra, relational calculus and SQL. Relational algebra was introduced in the year of 1970, then relational calculus was introduced during 72 and 77, and finally SQL was released. So relational algebra, so we talk about formal language, formal query language. So in case of a formal query language we have two major types. One is a relational algebra that we already discussed, and the second type is relational calculus. So relational calculus and relational algebra treated as a formal query language. Okay, they are treated as a formal query language. So this relational calculus is again classified into two types. One is a tuple relational calculus and second one is a domain relational calculus. So first try to understand what is relational calculus. So relational calculus is a non-procedural language based upon the branch of mathematical logic called as a predicate calculus. So we discuss relational algebra is a procedural. Why relational algebra is procedural? Because in case of relational algebra we are specifying what data we want and how to retrieve that data. Both things we are specifying in case of a relational algebra. That's why relational algebra treated as a procedural query language, whereas relational calculus is treated as a non-procedural language. So what is the meaning of non-procedural language? Non-procedural means what? In this case we are specifying what data we want, but we are not going to specify how to fetch that data. That we are not specifying. That's why relational calculus is treated as a non-procedural language, and it is based on the branch of mathematical logic called as a predicate calculus. I told you that relational algebra and relational calculus both are based on the mathematics, and their base is a mathematics. Mathematical foundation is a base for relational algebra as well as the relational calculus. As its name suggests, relational calculus, so it is based on the branch of mathematics called as a predicate calculus. Okay, so relational calculus will tells us what data to be retrieved, but it doesn't tell how to retrieve the data. This is what a important distinction between relational algebra and relational calculus, and it provides a declarative way to specify database query. If we try to distinguish between relational algebra, relational calculus and SQL, then we can say that SQL is practical oriented in nature. We can execute this query, whereas relational algebra and relational calculus, they are more or less theoretical in nature. They lay the foundation for mathematical base for SQL. Okay, so this is what a main distinction. So relational calculus is a declarative way to specify the database query, and this formal language is classified into two categories: relational algebra and relational calculus. Further, relational calculus is classified into two categories. First is a tuple relational calculus and second one is a domain relational calculus. Now first try to understand what is tuple relational calculus. So in this case, tuple relational calculus, the word is tuple. So what is tuple? Tuple nothing but a row of the table. Okay, if we talk about the basics of RDBMS, then we know that table is also called as a relation. That relation or table consists of rows and columns. Column is also called as an attribute, whereas row is also called as a tuple. Okay, so this thing you should know. sometimes we can say relation, sometimes we can say table, sometimes we can say row, sometimes we can say tuple, attribute, column. So all these are the terminologies you should know about the relational database. So tuple relational calculus, tuple means what? Row. So tuple relational calculus is specified to select the tuples in a relation. Okay, just in relational algebra we discuss about selection and projection operation. So what is the difference? Selection operation help us to retrieve the rows from the table we satisfy the condition. In the same way, tuple relational calculus help us to retrieve the rows, to retrieve the tuples from the table we satisfy the condition. And in relational algebra, projection operation is used to retrieve the attributes of the table. Okay, if you want to retrieve the rows, then we are going to use selection operation, and suppose we want to retrieve the attributes of the table, then we are going to use the projection operation. So this is all about the relational algebra. Similarly, in case of relational calculus, we have tuple relational calculus, whose aim is to retrieve the rows or tuples from the table which satisfy the given condition. Condition is important because we are not going to fetch all the rows present in the table, but we are fetching only that row which satisfy the given condition. This is what an important thing. So it finds the tuple for which predicate is true. So predicate is what? Predicate is nothing but a condition. Condition and predicate both are the same. So what is a generalized form for tuple relational calculus? So tuple relational calculus expression is of the form T pipe P of T. So what is T? T is nothing but a tuple variable. So T is considered as a tuple variable. Then we have concatenation. You can say this is this pipe sign treated as a concatenation, or you can say separation. Okay, so tuple relational calculus having two parts. First is a T. T stands for tuple variable. We specify what kind of attribute that we want to fetch from the table. Okay, because in single table may have n number of attributes, so that tuple variable T represents the what are the attributes that we want to fetch from the table, and P of T represents the predicate. P stands for predicate. Okay, predicate is nothing but a condition which satisfy this particular tuple. Okay, so here P is a predicate and T is a tuple variable which is said to be a free variable. Okay, then we are also going to use another notation in case of a tuple relational calculus, this inverted E called as a there exist. Okay, so there exists T. So what is the meaning of this complete expression? It means that there exists tuple T in relation R such that predicate Q of T is true. So this inverted E symbol is used to represent there exists condition. So how to read this? There exists a tuple T for relation R such that predicate Q of T is true. So Q is here we are using P, so here using Q. So Q represents, capital Q represents the predicate. Okay, so this is another notation that we are going to use. So don't worry about this. I will tell you when you are going to use this notation and when you are going to use this notation. So now let's take a simple example to illustrate the concept of tuple relational calculus. So in short, you need to remember whenever you need to fetch a row from the table, then at that time you can make use of a tuple relational calculus and it make use of a tuple variable. Okay, so let's take a simple example. So just consider this is a schema given to you. Okay, what is schema? Schema represent the overall structure of a table. Schema consists of two things. One is a table name along with the attributes name. So that's why we consider this as a schema. So consider the below schema. Okay, schema consists of two things. One is a table name. So table name is branch, and these are the list of attributes present in that table. So we have to consider this particular schema in order to solve this particular problem. So what is our query? We want to find the branch name, loan number and amount for a loan amount greater than 2000. That means we need to fetch three attributes, or means three attributes: branch name, loan number and amount for a loan amount which is greater than 2000. Okay, so we have been provided this many tables over here. So first of all we need to decide which table we should use, so that we need to fetch a data from the table. So in this case, which table we are going to use? So we need to look for branch name. So branch name is present in the branch table. Then loan number, okay, loan number is also there, and loan amount is there. So whether branch consists of all these attributes? No. But if you observe carefully, loan table consists of these three attributes. Branch name is also there, loan number is there, and loan amount is there. Hence I can decide I need to make use of loan table in order to answer this query. So in this case my query is very simple. I need to find branch name, loan number, and amount of a loan whose loan amount is greater than 2000, and this query we need to solve with the help of relational tuple relational calculus. Okay, so whenever you are solving query, be careful. You need to read the instruction carefully, because sometimes when they have been asked to write SQL query, you have been asked to write a relational algebra query, you have been asked to write a tuple relational calculus query or domain relational calculus query. So you need to read the instruction carefully what is being asked, because most of the time what I observe means in exam they are going to ask the relational algebra query, but you are writing SQL query. They are asking a tuple relational calculus query, but you are writing SQL. So don't do this. Just read the instruction carefully what is being asked, whether you have been asked to write SQL query or you have been asked to write a relational algebra query or relational calculus query, and based on this try to give the answer, because this same problem you can solve with the help of SQL query. Means for this you can write SQL query also, you can write relational algebra query also, and you can write tuple relational calculus query also. So here we are discussing this with respect to tuple relational calculus, so I will provide the answer in tuple relational calculus. So in this case we need to fetch all the attributes of the table. So that's why here I have not provided any attribute over here. Directly I have written tuple variable t, because you need to see the generalized form for tuple relational calculus. T is there, t is a tuple variable, then pipe sign which represent the concatenation or partition between these two. So here we need to specify the attribute, and here p of t we represents the condition that we want this our predicate our tuple should satisfy. So in this case what I written simply t. Why t? Because in this case I need to fetch all the attributes of the table. So t, then partition or pipe sign, t belongs to loan. This tuple t belongs to which relation, from which particular table we need to fetch a data. So we need to fetch our data from the table called as a loan, and what is the condition? T of amount is greater than 2000. So here tuple variable is very important. So in this case how I have written this answer? I have written this answer in a simple way. You need to just remember the generalized form for tuple relational calculus. You need to make use of tuple variable t, then pipe symbol, and after that you need to specify what is the table from which we are going to retrieve the data, and then condition. Whatever the condition that you want to satisfy. So in this problem statement we have been asked to satisfy the condition that loan amount should be greater than 2000. So we have written this simple query, tuple variable t, then pipe sign, t belongs to loan. This loan represent the table from which we are going to fetch the data, and what is the condition? T of amount is greater than 2000. So in this case you have to make use of tuple variable to represent the attribute of the table, to represent the table name, as well as to represent the condition. Okay, so this is what a simple first example. Then we take another example. So in this case what is our question? Find the loan number for loan amount greater than 2000. So what is the difference between this query and this query? In this query we are fetching all attributes of a table. Okay, and in this second example we need to fetch only loan number. Okay, we need to fetch only loan number from the table. So very first thing what you need to do, you need to decide from which table you have to fetch this data. So what is being asked? Loan number and loan amount. So loan number and loan amount is present in the table loan, so we are going to use the table loan. Okay, now in this case we are going to use second form of tuple relational calculus. I have shown you two forms. This is a first form and this is a second form. So whenever we need to fetch all the attributes from specific table, you need to make use of first form, and when you need to fetch only few attributes from a specific table, then you have to make use of this second generalized form. So these are the two forms that you need to remember and you have to use. So we have seen first example where we need to fetch all attributes of the table. Now we are going to discuss second example. So in this particular example we need to fetch only few attributes from the table. So in this case from loan table we are going to fetch only loan number. So you don't have to use this specific format, but you need to use this format. Okay, so how I have written this query? I use tuple variable t, then this particular partition symbol is there. There exists there exists tuple s that belongs to loan, where t of loan number equals to s of loan number, and s of amount is greater than 2000. Okay, so in this way this query is written. Okay, so how we have written this? It's a set of all tuples t such that there exists tuple s in relation loan, for which the value of t and s for loan number attribute are equal, and value of s for amount attribute is greater than 2000. So what you need to remember, this is a query where we are going to fetch all the attributes from the table, and this is what a query where we are fetching only one attribute, that is loan number attribute from the table. So here we have specified that we are fetching the loan number attribute table. From which table? Loan table. And what is the condition? That amount should be greater than 2000. So this is what a second example for tuple relational calculus. So what you need to remember in tuple relational calculus, that whenever we need to fetch a tuples from the table, we satisfy given condition, we are going to use tuple relational calculus, and it will make use of a tuple variable. Now next we'll move to another type of relational calculus, that is domain relational calculus. So in case of a domain relational calculus, we are focusing on attributes of the table. Attribute is also attribute, or we can say domain. Okay, domain. So in domain relational calculus, the records are filtered based on the domains of a attribute. I told you that selection operation of relational algebra is similar to tuple relational calculus, and projection operation of a relational algebra is similar to domain relational calculus. In tuple relational calculus, we are focusing more on rows of the table, tuples of the table, but in case of a domain relational calculus, we are focusing on attributes of the table. Okay, so it uses a domain variable. Tuple relational calculus make use of a tuple variable, whereas in domain relational calculus it will make use of a domain variable that takes on the values from a attribute domain. Okay, so now we'll see the generalized form for domain relational calculus. As we have seen the generalized form for tuple relational calculus, similarly we have generalized form for domain relational calculus. So this is what a generalized form for domain relational calculus. So here x1, x2, x3, all these are the domain variable, and the p of x1, x2, this will represent the condition. Okay, because in this case also we are need to provide the condition, but here we are more focusing on domain variable. Now let's take a simple example to illustrate this concept. So it will make use of a domain variable. Again we consider the same query, same example that we have discussed in case of a tuple relational calculus. Again our problem statement is same. We want to find loan number, branch name, and loan amount for loan amount greater than 2000. So this is the same first example we discuss in case of a tuple relational calculus. So we have written this. This is a tuple relational calculus query. Now we'll see how to write a domain relational calculus query. So how we have written this query? In this case we are not going to use tuple relational calculus, but we are going to use domain variable. Okay, there in tuple relational calculus we make use of a tuple variable, but here we are going to make use of a domain variable. So in this case domain variable, so here to represent loan number we are going to use domain variable L. To represent the branch name we use B, and to represent the amount we use A. So L, B, A, these are the three domain variable. Okay, then this pipe sign is there which represent the concatenation or partition between these two. Then we represent L, B, A belongs to loan, that means from which table we are fetching this, and what is the condition? That the amount of loan should be greater than 2000. So this is how you can specify domain relational calculus query. Then we discuss, or we'll take a second example. So find all loan number for a loan with the amount greater than 2000. So I already told you what is the difference between these two problem statement. In the previous problem statement we are fetching all the attributes from the table, and in the second example we are going to fetch only few attributes. Okay, so in this case we need to fetch only one attribute, that is loan number. So here you can see I use only single domain variable L. Here I use 3 domain variable LBA because in this case I need to fetch 3 attribute, but in this particular problem statement I need to fetch only single variable or single attribute called as a loan. That's why you will find only single domain variable L. Then you have to use there exists symbol. There exists B comma A. So we need to write those attributes name over here which we are not fetching. So in this case we are using loan table. So in the loan table we are going to fetch loan number attribute, but what we are not going to fetch from this loan table, branch name and amount. That's why here we are specifying these two particular domain variables. So here L represents loan number, B represents branch, and A represents amount. So in this case we are going to make use of there exists symbol, there exists B comma A. Okay, and then LBA belongs to loan, and what is the condition? That loan amount should be greater than 2000. So in short, you need to remember, when you need to fetch specific attribute of the table, then at that time you have to make use of a there exists symbol. Okay, suppose you need to fetch all the attributes of the table, then directly you can specify that particular attributes over here. So this is how we can able to write domain relational calculus query. So you need to remember the distinction between tuple relational calculus and domain relational calculus. So finally I will summarize this thing. Domain relational tuple relational calculus make use of a tuple variable which focus on retrieving the rows from the table which satisfy the condition, whereas in domain relational calculus we are going to make use of a domain variable and it focus on retrieving the attributes from the table, and in order to retrieve the attributes also we need to satisfy some condition. So this is all about tuple relational calculus, domain relational calculus, which are two types of relational calculus. Okay, so relational calculus is a formal query language as that of relational algebra, but relational algebra is procedural in nature, whereas tuple relational calculus and domain relational calculus both are non-procedural in nature. Thank you.